Over the years, I have had all manner of smartphones, and things keep progressing and progressing. I went from a 3.5-inch screen to a 5.5-inch screen, and then Android started being stupid, so I went back to iOS. And right now, I'm using iOS, and I wanted to try Windows 10 on a touch screen, so I went ahead and bought the Chewy Hi8, which is okay, but it's not something I would recommend for anything beyond the absolute basics. The reason I got it was because I wanted to check out Zoom text on touchscreen, and I wanted the lowest possible cost of entry to do it, and it served its purpose. And I also decided to try an unskinned, a cleaner version of Android, and that served its purpose as well. As far as a user with low vision is concerned, Android's actually far more accommodating, and that's what I wanted to be sure of. But you pay $50 for each half. If you think about it splitting up into two devices, it's $50 for a Windows PC, $50 for an Android tablet. Now, the experience was subpar, bordering on pathetic, because with what I needed to do, Zoom text bogged down the system so much that trying to do anything else beyond the absolute bare minimum was difficult. And Android cannot be upgraded. There were some bugs here and there from the beginning. I'm not going to go into it. But it did make me think about something. Because since the overall experience was kind of meh, and in the end ended up being something of a flop, and I had a gift card from a relative, I decided to invest in this. The Amazon Fire $50 tablet. I haven't put that thing down. And it's got low-end specs, much like the Chewy Hi8 did. So why do I love this over the Hi8? It's the experience. It's what I get for my money as a Prime subscriber. I've got literally a swipe of the screen, and I get access to my Kindle books, my immersion reading, which is something I've just started to experience on the Fire tablet, and it's something that I have fallen in love with. My Prime library. Now, the speaker is kind of but I'm looking at purchasing some headphones to go with it before we leave for my summer house. So I'm going to do that, and the sound will, be better. But the whole point is, it's not what hardware you can get for $50. It's what experience you can get for $50. And if you compare the Amazon Fire to that Chewy Chinese tablet, they are worlds apart. And especially if you're a Prime subscriber, I highly recommend the Fire. You honestly cannot go wrong with it. If you're not a Prime subscriber, then I'd recommend going with something like a Nexus tablet, because the way I see it is, if you're going to get this, don't bother rooting it. If you want Google Play so bad, you should get a Google Play device. It's as simple as that. There are several Google Play devices that are around. And the way I look at it, again, is this is primarily meant for the Prime subscriber. And if you're in that group, then the Fire tablet for $50 is a terrific investment. It is a terrific experience, and it's made me wonder, what experience can you get? What experience do you want? Not the technology itself, okay? See, I entered my PhD with an emphasis in educational technology. That has since been transformed into something different called Interaction and Media Sciences, and without getting into the nitty-gritty, all it means is, what experience can you have in the classroom that promotes a positive learning environment. And I took that and thought about my own personal technology habits, and I realized that it's not the hardware that matters. It's not even the software. You put them together, and it's the experience you have as a result of both of those working together. It's something that Apple has known and has done very well for a very long time. Fast forward, because the iPhone's actually going to be 10 years old next year. Fast forward, and everybody's got a 5-inch phone, even Apple, and it's like every single year there are only incremental upgrades here and there, and you have to wonder, is it really worth it? Especially now the carriers have ended the subsidies and we've started charging full price for phones like they've done for a long time in Europe. You have to wonder, how can I get the best experience for the least cost? And I'm also looking at that in terms of smartphones, because $700 for a phone, I don't see it. I really don't see it, especially after having been proven that with the right care, you can actually get a very usable experience for less than $100. The LG K4 LTE is less than $100 on contract. And as long as it has the horsepower to keep up with what I usually do, which is going to be listening to my Amazon content, magnifying menus at restaurants, texting friends, Skyping people, the basics. As long as it can do that well, I don't see the need to buy a $700 device. Okay? And I'm planning on keeping my iPhone for as long as I possibly can, as far as, having a device that works. I think that the handheld computer industry, and yes, smartphones in my opinion are handheld computers, has reached a plateau and is starting to fall. I've got an iPad Pro that's currently sitting in my backpack because I primarily use it for note-taking and not much else. When I first got it, I did use it for entertainment value, but the bulk of the tablet, especially with the case that I have with it, has not made it worthy of using for very long periods of time, after having used it now for about 6 months. I'll certainly continue to use it, but because the majority of my content resides on Amazon, why would I need a $700 12-inch device, which, admittedly, it's perfect, it's wonderful to have that big screen, but if the primary purpose is utilizing it for note-taking, if I use it less for leisure, then that's less wear and tear on the device. That can absolutely assure me the use of the device throughout my 4 or 5 year PhD experience. And because I need something for portable note-taking, there you go. Because I was going to use this in school, that was the driving force. But for more casual stuff, I can see why tablets have fallen. I can see why Apple's own tablet sales have plummeted. It's just that we've hit the glass ceiling, I think. There's really not much else that can be done within this traditional computing medium. I think that's also why the Fire Phone was a flop. Well, that and the fact that it was an exclusive to AT&T for a flagship price that, in my opinion, shouldn't have been. But Amazon didn't take that as a failure. They took it as a learning experience and came up with the Echo family of devices. You've got the Echo, the Echo Tap, the Echo Dot, and the Amazon Fire TV and TV Stick both have Alexa. I've got Alexi app on my iPhone that runs Alexa. They're opening Alexa up to third parties. The Pebble Core is going to be running Alexa. This voice interaction is going to be the future of computing, I honestly think. I know I made a mention of that in my prior video, but the Echo was a surprise hit. And I think I can tell you why. It's not because of the fact that it was the most powerful. Okay? None of these devices. This is a low-end Windows computer. It can be still used as a Windows computer as long as you run the basics. This is a low-end Fire tablet, but because of the way Amazon has massaged the hardware and software, they've taken a bite out of the apple, shall we say, and made a truly, very usable experience. I didn't say top-of-the-line experience now. I said very usable experience for its Prime members, and for the price, I think it can't be beat. And smartphones, there's a growing popularity of low-end smartphones and prepaid smartphones because people are realizing, why do I need $700 plunged into a device when a $200 device can do me just fine? I think people are really starting to realize this. These technologies have been around now for the last 10 years. And I think they've reached, like I said before, I think they've reached their glass ceiling and are going to start to fall. Will they go away? No, certainly not. In my case, a smartphone is an absolute necessity because the technology is used to gain access to information, to transportation, things that people who are do not have any kind of deficiency take for granted. Things like reading a newspaper or jumping into your car and going somewhere. Okay? Whereas this technology, what Amazon has introduced with Alexa, is the beginning of a new computing revolution. I think that over time, we're going to see this advance. And I've already mentioned this in a prior video, so I'm not going to repeat myself. But it's another example of how, for not too much money, you can have a very wonderful experience. And that has to do with, the cloud computing and the fact that you can run lower-end hardware. You don't need the $700 hardware anymore. If I were to spend $700 on a device, it wouldn't be on a smartphone. It would be on something like the Oculus Rift. And what I'm very interested in, from a research standpoint, is how virtual reality is impacting the traditional K-12 classroom. Excuse me. Over the coming years, I would like to take a look at the literature on that, see if there's something that I can do for my own dissertation in that field. This is basically what interaction in media sciences is all about. It's not about the hardware. It's not about the software. It's not about the portability. It's about taking the technology that's available to you and creating all new experiences like vocal interaction, like virtual reality, that can be used to promote new ways of learning. And it's because of this that, again, I've had a personal renaissance, shall we say, and I don't see myself getting another iPhone. I don't see myself getting another iPad because the Fire tablet and the LG K4 LTE or something similar can do the job that I need it to do just fine. And this new phenomenon is going to be what I think is worth investing. What do you guys think? Thank you for watching, comments are welcome, and have a nice day.